Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out from Iran to share with you. So we have reports the United States has confirmed Iran has delivered short-range ballistic missiles to Russia. This is very, very big news, guys. I've been covering this story for just about a month now. We've been hearing lots and lots of reports coming out that Iran was going to be sending short-range ballistic missile systems to Russia. I've reported to all of you that Iran was training Russian soldiers how to use the FAT 360 short-range ballistic missile systems. It is very similar to the HIMARS, if not potentially a better system with a much more powerful warhead, can also travel much further and at a much faster speed. So we do know that Russia does not have a lot of short-range ballistic missiles. Most of their missiles are long-range, like their hypersonic missiles, cruise missiles. So this will obviously be a good fit for the Russians right now to fight back against Ukraine, and could potentially be a better system than the HIMARS. So this is very, very big news, and we've been hearing that the U.S. has been threatening Iran not to send these over. I showed you guys this report right here on the Hill just about a month ago. This was on August 13, 2024. U.S. threatens swift and severe response if Iran sends ballistic missiles to Russia. Now, we know there's lots of U.S. military assets in the Middle East right now. Lots of U.S. warships over there, supposedly set to defend Israel if they come under attack by Iran. Iran was preparing to attack them, and this has been delayed for nearly almost a month now. So I don't know why the U.S. military assets are still over there. They still claim that Israel could come under attack, and they want to be prepared to defend them. But I don't know. Does this have something to do as well with maybe a preemptive strike on Iran? Does it have something to do with these ballistic missile systems going to Russia and the U.S. threatening a swift and severe response? I have no idea, okay? I don't know exactly why these U.S. military assets are over here in the Middle East. There's a number of reasons why they could be there other than just Israel. Okay, so very big news coming out from Iran right now. And this is also interesting too. I want to show you this as well in the Wall Street Journal. U.S. tells allies Iran has sent ballistic missiles to Russia. European officials say Europe and U.S. are working on a sanctions response to Iran's move. Okay, now, if you're going to come out and threaten a swift and severe response, to me that sounds militarily, a military response. Why would they come out and now they're going to do some sort of sanctions deal on Iran, okay? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, it could have just been the U.S. coming out and trying to threaten Iran to scare them into doing this. Maybe they weren't threatening any real action in terms of a military move on Iran, as they were stating before, a swift and severe response. But some people are coming out and mocking the United States right now and Europe, saying that this is the most they're going to do is just put sanctions on Iran. That's all they're going to do. And we're not going to go over this report, but I do want to dive into a report talking about this when it comes to these transfers of ballistic missiles to Russia. So let me show you this report here real quick. And then I've also got something on X in regards to Lloyd Austin, the U.S. Secretary of Defense, talking about basically that Ukraine cannot launch long-range strikes using ATACMS missiles inside of Ukraine. And it's very hypocritical because now we've got Iran sending these ballistic missiles over to Russia. Russia's going to be lobbying these into Ukraine very soon. So that's why I'm going to show you that. But this is on CNN Politics. Iran transfers ballistic missiles to Russia, sources say. And this came out today, September 6, 2024. Iran recently transferred short-range ballistic missiles to Russia to use in the war against Ukraine, according to two sources familiar with the intelligence, completing a delivery that the U.S. and Western officials had warned was in the works for almost a year. It is not clear when exactly the missiles were delivered, but their transfer comes as Russia has intensified its missile and drone attacks on Ukrainian cities, and as Ukraine braces for large-scale Russian attacks on its energy infrastructure this winter. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told allies at a meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group in Germany on Friday that Ukraine urgently needed more air defense systems. The Wall Street Journal first reported that Iran had delivered the missiles. The provision of ballistic missiles marks a significant escalation of Iran's support for Russia. Iran has already provided Russia with hundreds of drones that Russian forces have used in their war against Ukraine, and Russia's been building a drone manufacturing facility in the country with Iran's help, CNN has reported. Russian negotiations to require the close-range ballistic missiles from Iran began as early as last September, officials previously told CNN. When then Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu traveled to Iran to view the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps Ababil close-range ballistic missile systems. This event marked the first public display of ballistic missiles to a senior Russian official visiting Iran since the start of the Russia-Ukraine war, an official told CNN in January. So I will cite this down below if you guys want to read some more of this article. I just wanted to show you what mainstream news was reporting in regards to these weapons transfers of ballistic missiles going to Russia. So very, very big news, right? And there's obviously a lot of issues with this because Iran sending ballistic missiles over to Russia. Obviously, they've been sending drones to them, and that appears to be okay. If Ukraine is lobbing drones into Russia, Russia doesn't seem to have a problem with that. And then we've got Iranian Shahed drones going into Ukraine. Now we've got an upscale in escalation here, a push upward in escalation, I should say. And now these ballistic missiles are going to Russia, which is going to be using these on Ukraine. Now, we've got a lot of pressure with Volodymyr Zelensky pressuring the United States and Western partners to allow long-range strikes inside of Ukraine. And obviously, the United States and Western partners, many Western partners are not okay with this, but especially the United States. So I wanted to talk some more about that today as well, because there's a major issue here because, obviously we've been hearing North Korean missiles flying into Ukrainian territory. Now we're going to be having Iranian ballistic missiles flying into Ukrainian territory. Why can Ukraine not use long-range missiles and strike back against Russia? This is obviously a very controversial situation, but in some ways hypocritical and frustrating at the same time for Ukraine, right? So I want to show you, this is U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, and this came out today, September 6, 2024. This is his response to a reporter asking him, why are you not letting Ukraine launch long-range strikes on Russian airfields and go after targets inside of their territory? Take a look at his response. Pretty crazy.
President Zelensky has repeatedly requested for these long-range attacks inside Russia. Even allies agree. So what is stopping the United States from giving the go-ahead?
I don't believe what is stopping the United States. I don't believe one specific capability will be decisive, and I stand by that comment. I think Ukraine has a pretty significant capability of its own to address targets that are well beyond the range of ATACMS or even Storm Shadow for that matter. And as we look at the battlefield currently, we know that the Russians have actually moved their aircraft that are using the glide bombers beyond the range of ATACMS. So this is an interesting argument, but again, I think for the foreseeable future, we're going to make sure that we remain focused on helping them do those things that are enable them to be effective in defending their sovereign territory.
Mr. President, excuse me, Mr. Secretary, President Zelensky and others have said that there are other strategic targets inside Russia within range that could be effectively taken out with these long-range weapons.
There are a lot of targets in Russia, big country, obviously, and there's a lot of capability that Ukraine has in terms of UAVs and other things to address those targets.
All right, pretty crazy to see that, right? So in this video, what I notice for the most part when he's speaking is he definitely doesn't seem, in the very beginning, he doesn't seem like he really knows what to say or how to address this question. That obviously, many partners are in the West are starting to side with Ukraine and saying, yes, they should be able to go after military targets inside of Russia, strike their airfields, maybe go after oil depots, who knows what, right? And there happens to be this major fear with the United States of they're so worried of major escalation from Russia that I've been telling you guys. In my personal opinion, I believe that it is a major red line for Russia. I think they will not be okay with missiles flying into their country. But then, see, that's the problem, is that it's okay for Russia to do this, and even the United States is basically agreeing with that it's okay for Russia to lob their own missiles and North Korean ballistic missiles, which we've had multiple reports of that being confirmed. And also now these Iranian missiles, okay? These Iranian missiles are going to be going into Ukrainian territory as well. So this is obviously a very big issue, and it's going to put more pressure on the United States to have to potentially lift these restrictions on long-range weapons going into Russian territory. So this is just a crazy situation, guys. Like, I can't believe the way this is unfolding, but I have to share this information and let you know what's going on over here. And I don't know, are we going to see a major strike on Iran at some point? Is the West going to live up to their word when they say threatening things like a swift and severe response? Obviously, that sounds like some sort of attack on Iran. Or are they just going to do some sort of sanctions thing here with them? Just place some more sanctions on Iran and hurt their economy? I don't know exactly what's going to happen here, but I think it's important to share this story with all of you, as this could definitely spark something big to happen in the Middle East, especially if the U.S. decides to strike Iran. It could be huge. But we are definitely seeing more and more escalation in this war, and it's only getting worse, not continuing to get any better. So just thought I'd share some of these details with you guys today in regards to Iran. But that's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. With that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.